The 2016 Games of the Olympiad, aka the Summer Olympics, prevented us from getting an episode of Dragon Ball Super last week, but no Olympics this week. Dragon Ball Super episode 55, a most interesting episode to say the least. The Japanese name, Son Goku ni aitai no ne Zeno sama kara no yobidashi, which translates to, hey, I want to meet Son Goku, a summon from the Omni-King. Or you can call him Zeno, because Zeno literally translates to the king of everything or the Omni-King. So you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. The point is, he wants to see Goku. And he certainly got his wish. All right, let me give you guys the rundown and then give you my thoughts. The episode starts out with Beerus meditating on a log. Goku teleports in. He's like, hey, why'd you call me? Omni-King, Zeno, wants to meet Goku. So we kick it off right then and there. Obviously, some time has passed. I'm going to probably say just a few hours or maybe even a day or so since, the previous episode. I don't think it's been that long. I don't think it's been like a week or whatever. I think it's been a few days, maybe a couple hours. And we talk more about this later when we find out that Bulma finished Time Machine. But anyways, he shows up or whatever, and Goku is like, oh, well, this is some bad timing because Bulma just told me the Time Machine's finished and we're going to go back to the future to fight Black. So, Beerus, there's a funny moment where he pinches Goku's cheek, and he has like a red mark on his cheek for like a big portion of this conversation. Of course, Beerus and Whis tell him that, listen, all right, the Time Machine might be cool and all, but look, the Omni-King wants to talk to you, all right? Like, that's a little more serious, okay? Beerus is very, very serious here. You can sense the fear that Beerus has for the Omni-King. Zeno-sama is much, much more important. Of course, Beerus warns Goku, you better behave yourself, because if Omni-King gets mad, he might destroy the entire universe, including Beerus. Because like we talked about before, or like Whis told us, the Omni-King has destroyed already 4 universes in the past. He can do it in the blink of an eye. That's how strong he is. And also, Beerus also warns Goku, don't tell the Omni-King about Black or the Time Machine, because it might make him mad. Which is interesting, because I wonder if the rumor or the speculation of Black actually being Zamasu is true. I wonder how the Omni-King will react to it. I do think that at some point we're going to get his reaction. I think that'll all get tied up, when this arc ends, or maybe close to it. So, another quick note I wanted to tell you guys about was that Trunks was resting from training with Vegeta, and so they're getting ready to go to the future, which we'll get to later on this episode. Then we have a big thing we got to talk about here. Those of you who read my manga chapter, or I'm sorry, who saw my video on Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 15, or if you saw read it or read on Kanzenshuu or whatever, if you read what happened, of course the video is on my channel where I recap the entire thing. The big talk this week has been what Whis explained. He explains it in that manga chapter, and what good timing, because he explains it here in this episode that the Kaioshin, the Supreme Kais, and the Hakaishin, the gods of destruction, are a set. So if a Kaioshin dies, Beerus will die too. Now, there's a little bit of confusion behind this, and to be honest, we don't have enough answers yet, but I am going to do a video because this does make sense, and I'm going to try to explain it in a video sometime this week, so keep an eye on Geekdom 101. Subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, what are you waiting for? Because I got a video where there is some explanation to this that I have. There's 2 theories that I have, and unlike other people, my theories, I actually really think them out, and I think that this could make sense. It's a little bit of a retcon, but it could make sense if you look at it from a certain perspective. But just remember, if a Kaioshin dies, then Beerus will die too. So that makes the gods of destruction all of a sudden way more, vulnerable, right? So they head out to go see Zeno. Then it cuts to Universe 10, and we're back with the Barbarians and Zamasu and Gowasu examining them. Zamasu is still convinced that mortals are not worth it. They're just, slimy, I guess, barbarians. What more of a word can you say? Then we have a really interesting sequence where one of the barbarians comes up from behind them and is about to attack Gowasu and Zamasu with a club. Zamasu blocks it and sends him into a mountain, and Gowasu's like, don't do it, don't do it. And Barbarian gets up and attacks again. Zamasu lights up his right hand like a karate chop and literally chops him in half, brutally murdering him right in front of Gowasu. Like, it wasn't bloody or anything, so don't expect to this to be like, Ninja Scroll or one of these really bloody like anime, but it was still extremely violent. He just chopped them in half right down the middle. Whoosh, like, fuck, yo, this Zamasu guy is ruthless. Of course, later on, they go back to the Kaioshin realm in the regular timeline, and Gowasu is berating Zamasu. He's like, dude, there was no reason to kill that guy, and you fucked up because you might have fucked up history. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't have done that. So then we go to Goku. He goes to the Supreme Kai first, Kaioshin, and Old Kai and Kibito, and they're all shocked that Zeno wants to talk to Goku because Zeno doesn't talk to anybody. Obviously, we've got like how many Dragon Ball episodes from Dragon Ball all the way through Z and Super that we've never heard of this guy, and now he wants to talk to Goku. It's just Toriyama is always expanding the God hierarchy. So they decide to go along, and they arrive at Zeno's place, which is really cool. It's like a giant. One thing you got to give this show and this series is that I'm not sure if it's Toriyama designing it or Toei because we haven't gotten the scrapbooks yet for the series, but I really like the way that the designs of the locations are. Like, remember Zeno, the guy who knows everything, how he had that kind of candy bowl shaped place? Well, Zeno, similar name, has like a giant mushroom, and then like on the mushroom there's like a house shaped like a kanji symbol. Herms, of course, filled this all in on Twitter that the kanji symbol stands for Zen or the Omni, or everything. So it's kind of cool that his house is shaped like a Japanese language symbol. But anyways, then they meet that mysterious blue guy with the thing around his head from the preview. We were all speculating. Apparently, from what Herms said, his name is Daishinkan, I believe. I have to... Really, I don't know if that's going to be if that's his actual name or his title. Okay, we don't know that yet. But Whis is saying, oh, this guy is so strong, I'm not even a match for him. He's one of the top 5 fighters around now. So I'm just thinking, wait a minute, like, so if the Omni-King is stronger and Whis, okay, if this guy's stronger than Whis, and so is the Omni-King, dude, then that makes Goku like, what, the 9th or 10th strongest guy so far? And there's 5 other people stronger than him? Like, dude, like... And again, one thing I will say, a lot of you guys speculated that this episode, I was reading the comments, that you believe this episode is not going to really tie into the Trunks thing. It's going to be more of a build-up for later. I think if you said this, you are a great prognosticator. I don't think Daishinkan or any of these guys are going to get involved in the Dragon Ball Super story until later. I do think this is build up for a future arc, maybe the Omniversal tournament. It really seems that way. But again, they're kind of giving us little nuggets of information here and there. So everybody's telling Goku, you gotta behave, and they go down this creepy blue hallway, which looks like this like Final Fantasy final boss fight. And they get to the end of the hallway, and they go in this weird chamber where Zeno is. There's like a throne. There's those 2 guards that are pretty badass looking. And there's like these pillars all over the place. Just very weird architecture, but I love it. It seems like almost like creepy, like just a weird vibe. Of course, Supreme Kai bows to Zeno. Zeno looks at Goku and starts to examine him. Of course, dumbass Goku doesn't know how to show respect. He's a dumb fuck. Zeno says he wants a friend and a playmate. So Zeno is like a small child. I made the joke in the past that Zeno is like Alanis Morissette from Dogma, where her portrayal of God, but that was more of like, an actual like religious, God versus this just being Dragon Ball. It's a fictional story, but I do see the trend of like, like a God kind of being childlike. You know what I mean? And Goku, again, this thing is weird because if Goku makes friends with the Omni-King, right? Where's the drama? Like, what? It's like if you're friends with Bruce Lee, dude. You ain't gonna get bullied if you're friends with Bruce Lee. And not now when he was alive, of course. So it's just kind of funny that if Goku and the Omni-King become friends, where's the drama? Who knows? I'm not gonna write it off yet as being bad, but I feel like again, Goku's got so many godlike friends that are so strong that nobody can really fuck with him at this point. To be honest. So Goku decides to call the Omni-King Zenchan, which again, it makes more sense in Japanese, like a playful way of saying Zeno, Zenchan, and everybody freaks out. But the Omni-King likes it. Kaioshin's like fucking, he can't even compose himself. The guards are like the guards of the Omni-King, who also might be really strong, are freaking out over it. It's just awesome stuff. Goku then leaves with the Kaioshin, or with Kaioshin. They say their goodbyes, and it's interesting. So Omni-King gives Goku like a button that if he presses the button, the Omni-King will summon him. And then Goku's like, look, I need to get back to Earth, but I promise you I'll bring you a better friend. But Goku doesn't know who yet. It could be anybody at this point. But before they go back to Earth, they stop by Beerus's place, and Goku tells Beerus his name is Zenchan, and Beerus legitimately cannot understand it. He faints. He's like, Zenchan! Just, these guys cannot understand how Goku can talk to these legitimate gods who can destroy universes with such a laid-back vibe. Meanwhile, everybody else is kissing his ass and being protective. It's just a good dichotomy here. So then we get to a very creepy scene where Zamasu brewing tea. Zamasu and Gowasu are talking about the gods and the mortals, and you can sense Zamasu getting angrier and angrier. He thinks they're not worthy of gods. He doesn't think that these mortals are worth it. He thinks that, in other words, it's kind of like a biblical thing. Like, he feels that they kind of fell from grace, so to speak, and that he doesn't think that they're even worthy of existing in the same realm as the gods, right? Very creepy. And they keep teasing Gowasu, drinking the tea, staring at the tea, and there's a very creepy music being played by Sumitomo during this scene. Very, very good scene. Zamasu thinks that evil must be destroyed. And Gowasu's like, no, you got to understand, you need a balance of good and evil, creation and destruction. And very interesting how they're showing, like, the flowers, like, pinkish, which, again, is a tease for what's coming up later. I think it might be a tease. It might be symbolic. I don't want to overthink it, but I'll get into it later. So Gowasu appears to get through to Zamasu. It looks like he actually got through to him. So Zamasu leaves, but Gowasu notices the tea changing color, and Zamasu's like, I can't just observe this, I can't just sit around. So I guess he's just getting more angry and thinks that society is too sick to survive, like in Ghostbusters. I don't know, I'm just talking shit, but that would make the most sense. Again, I have a video on my channel, Is Zamasu Goku Black? Is Zamasu Goku Black? Check it out. I have the description down below. I worked my ass off on that video, and I analyzed the theory, from what Toriyama's telling us and what we're seeing and everything. So it's not just a random theory video. I actually have evidence here. So we go back to the Universe 7 present. Bulma pops up time machine to show everybody, and everyone's happy, including Trunks. Vegeta, Goku, and Trunks hop in the time machine, which can barely fit all three of them. They're like on the side of it, and they go back to the future. They land in the future. They get out the time machine. Goku hits his head on the way down, of course. Trunks puts the time machine back in the capsule so it doesn't get damaged. Goku is shocked at how West City, or Western Capital, is completely destroyed. The capsule core building is destroyed. Goku then looks around, and they start playing that awesome, like, black music, which I guess is the music of the future. Trunks then finds the hoodie that belonged to Mai, but no Mai. Why isn't Mai there? Maybe she's not dead? I don't know. Maybe. We saw the hint before. She's not dead, guys. Come on. So Trunks is, like, confused. And another thing I want to say, too, I did another video I want you guys to check out called How Old Is Mai? Because people are confused about Mai's age and how she's able to look so young. I did a whole video dissecting her actual age based on the original manga, based on what telling us in Super, based on when the wish was made, and when Pilaf wished themselves to be kids again. I'm going to put that video in the description. Go check that video out if you are confused about Mai, because I got an answer for you. So the episode ends with Goku getting shot at randomly, and he freaks out. And obviously it's the Resistance confusing good Goku with Black Goku. So that's your cliffhanger, is that they're firing these, like, missile-looking things, or little mini missiles, I don't even know what the hell they were, at Goku, and that's your cliffhanger. Next week, you've been waiting for it, and it's here. Vegeta will be fighting Goku Black, and which I didn't expect to happen yet. And the debut of Super Saiyan Rose, black with the pink hair. And by the way, not to toot my own horn here, but I'm the one who broke that story. I had it on my channel first, and several other YouTube channels took that, ran with it, and didn't credit me. I broke the story from Amazon Prime Japan on this channel, so the best thing you can do is subscribe to Geekdom 101, because I usually get the shit out first. So Remember that. I sound like I'm fucking trying to. I don't know what I'm trying to sound like. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I really did break that story. And Saiyan Island, all these places never ever credit anybody back. So it's on here. So Geekdom 101's the place to be. Anyways, guys, next couple of days I'm going to be analyzing that preview a little bit more. Talk a little bit more about what's going to happen on this channel. And I got a few big videos coming up, so subscribe if you haven't, and thank you as always for supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. I'll talk to y'all down the road.